This is Quick Chain Lessons by Chain Academy, our initiative for a short, practical, and meaningful coding and tech tips. For more videos like this, follow us on our social media platforms or purchase our courses at www.chain-academy.io. Hi there, welcome back to Chain Academy's Quick Chain Lessons GoLang series. Today, we are diving into one of the most important building blocks of programming in Go: variables, constants, and types. By the end of this session, you will not only understand how Go handles data, but also write clean, efficient code with confidence. Now, let's get started. Let me ask you this: have you ever checked your phone battery? Does it stay the same all day? Of course not, because it changes as you use your phone. That is exactly like a variable in programming. Its data can change. In Go, a variable is a container that holds information like a student's age, your name, your score in a test, which might change later. But some data never change. For example, the number of days in a week is always 7, or the value of pi, it never change. That is what we call a constant. A constant in Go is like a rule. Once you set it, it can be changed in your program. So remember, a variable is a data that can change, while a constant is a data that stays the same. Pretty simple, right? And now that we know about variables and constants, let's talk about the types of data we can store in Go. Just like in real life, data comes in different forms: numbers, words, and could be a yes or no answer. So, first we have numbers. Go gives us integers like int for whole numbers and float 64 for decimals. For example, your age might be an int, while your GPA or graded average could be a float 64. Next, we have a string. Strings are just text inside double quotes. For example, a simple hello world or your name. Strings are great for names, messages, or any text information that doesn't need to be computed. And finally, we have booleans. They only store two values: true or false. Think of a light switch. It's either on or off. In programming, we use booleans for yes or no situations, like is student equals to true. So the three most common basic types in Go are numbers for calculations, strings for text, and booleans for logical true and false conditions. Together, they form the foundation for almost every program you will write. Let's have a quick demo of this one. In our old project environment, let's remove this previous code that we have, or let's have a comment here, and we will try variables. So let's have here, first example is numbers, and then let's have here bar, age, and we will declare the data type, which is integer. It means we're expecting a whole number for age, and we will have here equal 17. It means that the age here is the container of this 17, which is a value or a data. Now let's have another variable. Let's have here GPA. Let's say this is the grade average of your score from a test, and we will declare as float 64 because we are expecting a decimal. Let's say, for example, 3.75. So let's have here fmt that println, and let's have here the age, and another one fmt println. Let's have here the GPA. So we tend to display the variable age and the variable GTA, and let us see what it will show us. Now we first need to have a comment in this import because we are not using this. And now let's have go run main.go. and we will have the result as 17 at the first one, which is age, and 3.75 for the second one, which is GPA. Now let's try strings. Let's have your strings. Let's have a variable, the name. Let's have a string here. And then let's have here Alice. Then let's have the display here, FMT. Let println, and we have the name, comma, and name. Then let's display go run main.go, and we will have here Alice, and you will see that I can also display a string directly the println. Now let's have another data type, which is the boolean. Let's have your bar is a student, bool equals to true, then fmt println, and let's have is student. It's like a question because a boolean technically answers a question. It's either true or false. So we will have here our variable name, which is a boolean that contains a true value. And let's try to display this. Go run main.go. See? So we can display the data types correctly. Now look what will happen if you try to change the data type. Let's say in this part, we will put a string, and let's have go run main.go, and you will see that an error will happen. All right, so now we are done with our quick demo. Let's go to the next topic. Now in Go, there are several ways we can declare variables, depending on how much detail we want to provide. Let us look at each one. The first one is the with type. Here, we explicitly say what type the variable is, just like what we did earlier. So for example, bar age int equals to 17. This is useful when we want to be super clear. Number two, we have type inference. Go is so smart. It can figure out the type from the value. For example, var name equals Alice. Therefore, Go automatically knows that it is a string. And the third one is what we call a short declaration. This is technically a shortcut. We can use a shorthand like this one, score, and that symbol, a colon and an equal sign, and then 95. This is quick and common inside functions. Now, the last one is the zero values. If we declare a variable without giving it a value, Go assigns a default called a zero value. For numbers, it is zero. For booleans, it is false. And for strings, it's an empty string. So let's have a quick demo so you would understand this better. So from our previous code, we will comment all of the codes here. Let's have here a comment. Now, if you can remember, this is an example of declaring a variable with a type. Now, we will try type inference. Let's have your type inference. So let's have your bar name equals to Alice, and let's have fmt that println, and let's have here name, and let's try to have here go run main.go, and automatically we will see Alice here. Now next, let's have the short declaration, the shortcut. Let's have here score, and you don't need to declare a bar keyword and a colon equal sign, and let's say 95, and then let's have your fmt that print ln and score. So we will have a new line, the same thing here. Let's have ln, so it will print a new line, and let's have go run main.go, and you will see here Alice and 95. Now let's try the zero value. Let's have bar height float 64, and we will leave it like that. And we will have fmt println, and let's have height here. And if you will notice, I didn't put any value inside this variable. And let us see what it will contain. Let's have go run main.go. Now you will see Alice 95 and 0. All right. So those are the ways on how you will be able to declare a variable inside Go. Now we will continue our discussion on the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. Now, if you want to support us, please subscribe to our pages or visit our courses at www.chain-academy.io.